Hi, I'm Jonni Khat, and I'm a licensed professional counselor and a team Beachbody coach. And what I want to talk to you guys about today is something that is vital to your overall health and well-being, and that is your happiness. A lot of times clients will come into my office and they'll have all these problems. And they'll start listing off all of these issues that they have and all these problems that they have, and I'll say, okay, that's why you're here, and that's wonderful that you came in. But let me ask you this. If you could snap your fingers right now and everything in your life would be perfect, what would it look like? And their response oftentimes is, well, I'd be happy. And my response is, great, that's wonderful. I'm glad that you can identify that. But let me ask you this. How will you know when you're happy? And they get stumped. They don't know what to say. So I say, all right, don't worry about it. Don't add this to your list of problems right now. Let's take it back a step and let's really think about what your problems are and address those first. So a lot of times they'll start off by saying, okay, well, maybe I'm depressed. Maybe I stay in bed for a few days at a time. Or maybe I'm anxious. And I have these negative thoughts about myself or others. Maybe I have a panic attacks and can't control them. My fight or flight responses go off a lot of times. Maybe I'll have an anger response. I'll be angry a lot. Maybe I have chemical addictions. Maybe I have behavioral addictions. Whatever it is that is their problem in their life, then we look at those things and we say, okay, so these things are causing you problems. Now, what are some of the symptoms of those problems? And they'll say, well, I isolate, or I don't spend a lot of time doing the things that I know I need to be doing. And I say, all right, so that's great because now you're identifying on your own exactly what the main problem is. And the main problem is that you're stuck in the me box. This is what I call it. The me box is all those behaviors that we do that feed all of the negativity. And they cause us to be unhappy in our lives. Now, a lot of times people in this situation will think, well, if I just get a lot of positive people around me, then those positive people will just make me happier. So they go out and they get a bunch of friends. Well, the problem is that when we're in the me box, oftentimes, the people that we are going to bring into our lives are not going to be healthy people either. They're also unhealthy people living in their own me boxes. And as you can see from that picture there, you're not going to get any fulfilling, caring relationships out of people who are also struggling with addictions or mental health issues along with you. So what you need to do is to step back a minute and say, okay, if these things are causing me to be unhappy, living in these things. Now, some of these things may be organic to my brain, and I may need medication to fix them. Or maybe I need to just come to therapy and talk a lot of these problems out. Maybe I've had some trauma in my life or something has happened to me that I need to talk through. But oftentimes, there are things that we can take control of and break by just doing 5 basic things in our life. Do you get 8 hours of sleep a night? Do you drink 8 glasses of water a day? Do you get enough exercise? Do you eat enough healthy food? And do you have hobbies that you enjoy doing? If an answer to any of those was no, then you have a setup for being unhealthy and therefore unhappy. One of the things that you want to do in order to break this is to do those 5 things better. You don't have to do them perfectly, but do them better. The other thing that you might need to do, if you have chemical addictions or behavioral addictions, you might have to go to rehab or you might have to go to some kind of an intensive outpatient program or therapy in order to help you. If you have long-term anxiety and depression or bipolar disorder or something, you might need some medication to help you with that as well. But from a psychosocial point of view, what you need to be doing is you need to be changing your life in order to become more of what I call an I circle. Do you see how the I circle is more inclusive? It's a circle. It's not a square. It's not exclusive like the me box. It is a situation where you feel like you are more in touch with yourself and other people around you. And therefore, who are you going to start finding comes into your life more? You're going to start finding that other people who are more genuine and authentic are going to come into your life and are going to surround you with happiness and with positivity that's going to detract from some of these other things. You're not going to have a bunch of people that you go to the bar with, that you're hanging out with. Rather, you might have people that you go spend time at the gym with, or that you get into a healthy habit club with or something. Those are the ways that we knock out all of our negative moods and our negative thoughts and feelings, which of course can cause unhappiness. And if we're working to be happier, then of course what's going to happen on the other end is we're going to see that we are going to be happier ourselves. And that, my friends, is how you will know that you are happy, is when you are complete like this. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll go into more detail about how the brain works and all of the other pieces of that in a future video. But I hope you enjoyed this, and stay happy, my friends.